these aren't my decisions. These are the staff's decisions as to pursuing cases and the like. And
that gatekeeper function is real. You might not feel it on a daily basis, but I leave you with that thought, because
this is, there's a lot of benefits to this. If we can get it on an exchange where someone who does have Bitcoin or Cardano or Ethereum, they can convert it to.
Yeah, so I mean, the cross-border payment space is still continues to be dominated by SWIFT. Right? We'll start to see a movement away from traditional correspondent banking via SWIFT to potentially these kind of inter-networked real-time payment schemes.
So there's a good chance we end up with something like a gold-backed currency.
It was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in.
And again, the Federal Reserve funds both sides. Central banks fund both sides of the war. All wars are banker wars.
If you got some bags, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, stuffing some bags, smashing them likeys. Go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up, cause the future's extra. Bullish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 1.31 trillion, up about 0.1% in the past 24. BTC's dominance right around 51%. We got XRP on fire this morning, 57.58 cents, up 3.4 in the past 24, 7.3 in the past 7 days. We got Stellar XLM right around 11-12 cents. BTC 34,332, ETH 17.18 hundo. We got XDC 0.0488. Flare Networks creeping back up 0.01066. Songbird 004067 down 2.2 the past 24. Got a quick announcement before we get things started. We have added the Rich Duck coin over to the secret raffles.xyz. Go ahead and hit the link down below if you got any RDC for your chance to win a Rich Duck ranking 1510. Links down below. Pick up your raffle tickets for your chance to win. Trick or treat. We got a tweet from Jeremy Hogan to kick things off. He says, I couldn't stomach reading the executive order on AI, but I glanced through it in detail and the hypocrisy is enormous. Hasn't the administration attacked the privacy in the crypto space at every opportunity, while all of a sudden is concerned over our privacy? We got one from John D. And here's Clayton gaslighting the American people. Dude's a total fraud. He voted. Of course, it's his decision. As chairman, he controlled the money and the agenda. If he didn't want to file the case against Ripple and XRP on his very last day before leaving the SEC to go advise One River on its $1 billion bet on BTC and ETH, he wouldn't have. He had the ability to say that since Consensus was represented by his firm and was brokering the Quorum JPM deal due to the mere appearance of impropriety inherent conflicts of interest. He shouldn't have voted for an enforcement action against his law firm's client, biggest competitor, and thus rescue himself. It was his last day at the SEC after all. Why file the most significant non-fraud enforcement action in modern day history and walk out the door to leave the new chairman, you might ask? Indeed.
So I was surprised, and let people know that the securities laws apply. Give them time to comply, and then people who didn't comply, that we have. These aren't my decisions. These are the staff's decisions as to pursuing cases and the like, but letting the public know that this is an area where regulation is going to apply. And I think this conference is all about trying to bring this very promising technology within a regulatory net where we can have the appropriate public confidence. So that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, and I'd close on this because it's a conference on surveillance, back to the lawyers, the accountants, the advisors, consultants, the technologists even. You operate in a space that's innovation is happening and the like, but you have clients and you feel compelled to give your clients your best advice. But I also think I ask you to think about the public interest as well, that you're gatekeepers. And if they're stepping over the line, bring them back over, or have them talk to the CFTC or us or the banking regulators, depending upon what they're trying to do, to talk to us and to do it within the frameworks and within the law. That gatekeeper function is real. You might not feel it on a daily basis, but I leave you with that thought, because the investing public's going to benefit if your projects and your clients are doing stuff on the right side of investor protection and consumer protection and guarding against illicit activity and the like.
We got one from Crypto Eddie. Mission: provide convenient home remittance services for foreigners in Japan. SBI Group XRPODL facilitator SBI Remit was Shanken Bank, actively incorporating the latest financial technology such as Ripple's distributed ledger technology, low cost, fast. XRP, the interoperable one. We got one from Flip the Chain. For tourists, we're integrating cryptos to our CBDC platform so they can bring in crypto and convert it to CBDC, and while leaving, convert CBDC back to crypto coin. XRP Ledger, you know what's coming.
Tourists coming in, a lot of the Chinese tourists, they use Alipay. Essentially the same thing without having to use a point of sale device. So this is, there's a lot of benefits to this. If we can get it on an exchange where, someone who does have Bitcoin or Cardano or Ethereum, they can convert it to Palau stablecoin in their wallet. They pay with Palau stablecoin while they're in Palau, pay for their dives, pay for their hotels, their restaurants. When they leave, they exchange it back to whatever crypto they had, and continue on. So and it's a way to generate more revenue for Palau, for the people, through that exchange mechanism and the fees on the exchanges, where if you're using a PayPal service or Alipay or credit cards, that money doesn't go to Palau, it goes to the merchant, or not to the merchants, to the people to the banks that are controlling the credit cards and those services. This
will help boost our economy. You know what's coming. We got another one from Crypto Eddie. Cross-border payments still dominated by SWIFT, settling 100% in 24 hours. We got payments chief long-term view is away from corresponding bankings. The use case for DLT and tokens as a mechanism of exchange cross-border. Nothing's really taken a hold as of yet. It doesn't mean it never will.
It's very easy to move a message cross-border, right? It's far more difficult to achieve actual settlement. And I think that calls into question both the FX rate, right, and the transparency of the FX rate at the point of the payment initiation. It calls into question the spreads that are being taken against the FX rate. And it also calls into question the liquidity, right? So I think how liquidity moves cross-border is still the big question around things like networking, individual real-time payment schemes, right? You still, at the end of the day, have to move dollars to pounds or dollars to euros or what have you. Yeah, so I mean, the cross-border payment space still continues to be dominated by SWIFT, right? And in full disclosure, I am a former Swiftie myself, so I have to give that warning. But I think SWIFT does, to give SWIFT its due, it does a good job in helping facilitate the traditional correspondent banking methodology of cross-border payments, to the point where, most payments are settled within 5 minutes. And I think they're up to now, it's 100% of all payments are settled within 24 hours. The longer term view is that we'll start to see a movement away from traditional correspondent banking via SWIFT to potentially these kind of inter-networked real-time payment schemes. Or alternatively, right, that there is still a whole use case for DLT and tokens as a mechanism of exchange cross-border. They've been discussed for a while. Nothing's really taken hold as yet, but that doesn't mean it never will. So I continue to think that if there is a use case for, tokens, whether it be CBDCs or some other non-fiat mechanism of exchange, we may see that first happen in the cross-border space where the use case is a little more clear.
Whatever it is, it's going to need a bridge to the other side. XRP. The bridge. We got XDC's Infin official. We're thrilled to announce that XDC Network is proudly sponsoring Hong Kong FinTech Week 2023, the most prestigious event in FinTech history. Mark your calendars, October 30th, today, November 5th, 2023. We got Uphold holds 1.28 billion in XRP, 740% more than BTC who, ETH who, ADA, Stellar, Shiba Inu. You know what's coming. They know what's coming. And they can't stop it. Better load up. While you still have some time. We got the notorious XRP. Remember, the month of November. We got Rob Cunningham. Any ideas why these types of updates are occurring amidst one of the most economically distressing and geopolitically unstable times in the world history? Coincidental? What is money? Why are wars fought? How do monopolies end? What do Lincoln, Kennedy, and Trump have in common? What is a corporation, government, NGO? Who governs who? What's next? XRP coming. First, we had the Internet of Information. Now get ready for the new standard, the Internet of Value, running on the XRP ledger. We got the Black Swan capitalists. Central banks have been quietly buying gold in preparation for a gold revaluation, which sets the stage for a new reserve currency. They've also partnered with Ripple so they can tokenize those reserve assets on the blockchain, or XRP will play a key role in achieving this, the passing of the scepter, the golden scepter.
So the question is, how do you set something up that takes the credit card away but still allows governments to function? And if we went back to a gold standard, we'd have to do something like back the world's currencies with gold at a certain ratio that was clear and transparent and everybody could understand. The problem is to do that now with all the currency that's been created, you have to have a gold price that's really high compared to today. And the people who have run those numbers come up with estimates of anything from $10,000 an ounce for gold to $60,000 an ounce. So that would be very good for gold bugs. You know, the people who own gold and silver would make out, and the people who trust the government and own dollars would be devastated because their net worths would just crater. But we have to do something like that. And like you said, familiar ideas that are already on the table are what get adopted in times of panic, because you have to do something. The world is falling apart around you. And that's not a good time to learn about some new thing that you're going to implement. It's much easier to take something you already know how to do and just go back to that. And so there's a good chance we end up with something like a gold-backed currency going forward, something that's similar to the, in retrospect, familiar classical gold standard that was in place for basically 200 years before World War I.
Now, if this is the case, which it is, and I've done my research, central banks will have to use a digital asset that can easily bridge all banks and APIs to the network for interoperability. It would also have to be the most efficient and the most liquid asset. And that's exactly what Ripple has done with their digital asset XRP. If you've done your research, then you'll know that this is one of the most undervalued assets on the market. XRP will be the base currency for the new financial system. It will be backed by gold. And you could call it digital gold. Ripple is the only company that has global compliance from all major central banks and financial institutions. Right now, we're just waiting for the final classification of this digital asset and the court case to end.
XRPs. Clearly shaking the system. Looks like you're going to need a bigger bag of that HODL. XRP. We got XRP drops retail versus institutional investors. Big Brad Garland House. It is the first time in economic history that retail was able to invest before institutional investors. It's no wonder they want those bags back.
The thing that's very different, and I've been out in Silicon Valley for about 20 years. The thing that's very different about what's happening now versus the dot-com bubble is the dot-com bubble, it was the institutional investors who were in, and then retail came on top and priced things up. The exact opposite has happened here. Mm-hmm. You have retail and kind of speculative interest already in the market, and now you have institutional money starting to come in.
The institutional investors are on their way in to pump our bags up. Pump our bags up. You know what's coming. We got one from Subject Views. All wars are banker wars, period, full stop, credit. Greg Manarino.
Industrial complex, which is often described as the relationship between a country's military and the defense industry that supplies it. But where does all this cash come from? It's astonishing to me. You got the current imbecile sitting behind the Resolute that's talking about sending hundreds of billions over here, hundreds of billions over there, with more to come. You had President Trump yesterday talking about more funding for Ukraine, more funding for Israel. We gotta support Israel's this war. We have to support it at all costs. No apologies. These were his exact words. Okay. Again, but where does the cash come from? Does Biden tell you? Does Trump tell you where it comes from? No, they can't tell you. They can't tell you. Because if they did, maybe you would go, oh, well, wait a minute. What's really happening here? It comes from the central banks. Anyway, no other endeavor on earth generates a greater need for borrowed dollars than war. Biden won't tell you that. Trump won't tell you that. Neither will any other freak running for president right now. No developed nation on the planet has a war chest. We have covered this a million times. So again, where does the cash come from to fight these wars? It comes from central banks, and it is these same central banks, like the Federal Reserve, who are more than willing to lend any amount. Biden has promised a blank check. So is Trump, okay, to fund these wars. And again, the Federal Reserve funds both sides. Central banks fund both sides of the war. All wars are bank wars. The more cash any central bank can issue or is called on to issue, makes them stronger.
We got one from Some Wallet. Exciting news. They have teamed up with Uphold Inc. to offer 0% transaction fees for the Topper on-ramp for the next 48 hours PST. Enjoy free XRP on-ramping via Topper starting now. Find the Topper X app and some more info here. XRP, some, Uphold. We got XRPCrypto and some charts to close things off. We got XRP, 12-hour update, structural formation, setting up that next SEC. Base melting, pump. We got blockchain backer. As the masses got shook out during the August dip, selling low to buy lower, they now desperately seek reassurance that a big dip will come for them to re-enter. But their odds dwindles as totals enter signs of strength. Total market cap, where the fireworks happen. And we got Dark Defender confirmed XRP formed a bull flag pattern, and this structure touches precisely our target at 66 cents in the 4-hour time frame. Check bull flag 55 cents above and validated below 54 cents. Check for another break in hours. Let's see, but XRP looking extra bullish headed into 2024. The only digital asset with legal clarity by XRP, or is it too late? 55, 56 cents. You better load up before they flip that XRP switch. You know what's coming. They know what's coming, and they can't stop it. Where will you be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Later, glitches. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing them likes for some more Moon O'Clock news. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD, buy up those bags, and don't forget to spread that liquid love. Appreciate you tuning in for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay bullish out there. Extra bullish. Later, glitches.
Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Gotta pump my bags up. Pump it to the moon. Pump my bags up. XRP, pump it to the moon. Pump it up. Pump my bags up. Pump it up. Gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up. Gotta pump my bags up. Pump it up. XRP to the moon. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Gotta